rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasting like hey ya.
Oh, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rockin' Knicks Universal main man, Uncle Freezie. And welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? All right. I see y'all. A lot Wise is in the house. King Ribby is in the house. Rome Far Rock is in the house. Kev Guapo is in the house. Dripmore is in the house. Mr. Atkins is in the house. B Baller for Real is in the house. Everybody is in the house. What's good, y'all? Man, it's good to see y'all, man. Good to be with y'all. Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly, right? Let's do that, right? Let me do this. Yeah, bim. Bim. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, let's go. Let's get it. What's good, y'all? It's good to see y'all. Good to be with y'all, man. I got a question for y'all. Just to get straight to the point with it. Are the Knicks going all in on a championship? Will Salkin is in the house. What's good? What's good? Are the Knicks going all in on a championship? Just trying to figure it out. Just trying to figure something out, man. Are the Knicks going all in on a championship or no? Right? Justo11 is in the building, says salute. I gotta hear Eastern Conference, baby, next year for sure. Hey man, we gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. When I said it, when I said it, others was like, nah, we not that good. When I said it last year, when I started saying it in January, cats was looking at me like they're like, Uncle Freezie crazy. You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, man, Uncle Freezie crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he talking about. David L is in the house. I'm gonna say this, man. I want to separate some stuff, right? I really like Dante DiVincenzo. I really like the Dante DiVincenzo signing. You feel me? I really like the Dante DiVincenzo signing, man. JJ, we tanking, brother. JJ, we trying to get the number one pick, bro. I'm mad. Rivera is in the building. Yo, look who here. Look who here. Punchinella. Look who here. Rivera says Knicks definitely top 3 in the East. We deep and have chemistry team. I have the chemistry most teams don't have. I ain't gonna lie to you, Rivera. Hey, y'all pardon me, man, on my reading, bro. I've been reading all day. So if my reading is slipping, it's just because my eyes are tired, bro. I've been reading all day, bro. Yo, reading is overrated, bro. You got to do it, but whatever. And I'm talking about schoolwork too, man. I ain't even talking about real stuff. I'm talking about schoolwork. I'll show y'all. Matter of fact, I still got it pulled up. I'll show y'all what it is, bro. Like what I've been working on, man. This is what I've been working on right here, man. Bro, this thing wearing me out, bro. This thing killing the brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading through stuff, man. I gotta take quizzes after every chapter and gotta remember all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yo, otherwise, oh man. JR, what's good, man? Yeah, so I need to burn one, huh? I gotta burn one, right? Yeah, man. I'm no lie, bro. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about the Knicks. I just want to get this little bit out of my system since I showed y'all. But so I'm working on the SIE. I already told y'all that 1,000 times. That's why I hope y'all be patient with me. The way the schedule has been kind of wonky here for the last 6 weeks or so. It ain't because I done flipped out and started going crazy. It's just because, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to juggle a bunch of stuff at once. So y'all just bear with me. I'm committed to doing the Knicks at Night podcast in the Knicks morning drive. I'm committed to doing vibes and stuff in the mornings. It's just I have to find a way to balance out everything and still perform. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all. But hey, listen, Dante DiVincenzo, man. I think that's going to be my heartstring this year. Last year, my heartstring was Quickly. You know what I'm saying? Last year was Quickly. This year, I think it'll be Quickly also, but I like the Dante DiVincenzo signing for what it offers us. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, King Ribby. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, being patient with me. The schedule is all uneven. Like tomorrow, I know the schedule is going to be uneven, right? Because I want to do vibes and stuff live. I want to do that from about 8 o'clock. And then the next morning drive, I have it scheduled for 9:30. And then we doing the neighborhood. And then I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Then I gotta grind and I gotta make the donuts. You know what I'm saying? Because every man with responsibilities gotta find a way to make the donuts, you know what I'm saying? And then you study, and then the Knicks at Night podcast. So I know tomorrow, I know tomorrow is gonna be kind of one of them weird days. So yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man. I like oh boy, JJ, come on, JJ, man. Are we gonna start the Grimes? Are we gonna start throwing chairs and flipping tables again over Grimes? We about to, JJ coming in already, just kicking in the door and flipping over tables on site. Right? Right, JJ coming in. JJ coming straight in the door, kicking in the door, flipping over tables. Right. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I like Dante DiVincenzo for what he offers us, y'all. I'm not saying that Dante DiVincenzo is going to come here and be the NBA most improved player. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Dante DiVincenzo is going to offer those things, and no disrespect to this player that I'm going to name, because I like him. But Dante DiVincenzo is going to offer us certain things that Deuce McBride wasn't able to offer us last season. And I like Deuce McBride. Salute Bronx Mailers in the building. Just off rip, before we even get started, before training camp even starts in September, we feel like we have a 4-guard rotation. Salute to DSJ in the building. Salute to the human beatbox, Delano Steele Jr. DSJ can really beatbox, man. So here's my thing. Yo, Quiet Money is in the building. Here's my thing. We know what we're getting from Brunson and Grimes. Right? So with Brunson, you're probably going to get about 26 points a game, 50% from the floor, 40% from three, 85% from the free throw line. You know, Brunson's defense is going to be spotty. Let me just say it that way. Right? And then there's Grimes. You know you're going to get great defense from Grimes. You know you're going to get about 45% from the floor, about 40% from three, right? About 78 to 82% from the free throw line. You're going to get great defense. But you don't know if Grimes is going to be able to stay on the floor. We hope he can stay healthy, right? That's our wish, that we hope Grimes stay on the floor. You know you're going to get from quickly, you're going to get about 38% from three, about 43% from the floor, 44% from the floor. You're going to get elite defense against point guards. You're going to get big games from quickly. Like you already know he's going to have 7 or 8 30-point games this season off the bench. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the house. Cormega is in the house. Right? And then there's Dante DiVincenzo. I think Dante DiVincenzo, of the 4 guys mentioned, is the best defender of what we have right now to date. Now, Quickly and Grimes may come back even better defensively, but right now, I think Dante DiVincenzo is the better defender. Right? And I'm talking about screen navigation, field goal percentage against, all those things that you take into account. For Shizzers in the building, salute. I honestly think Dante is probably going to be about 13 and a half points per game. I think he'll be about 40% from three, and he'll be elite defensively, or really good defensively. Let me put it that way. So that's 4 guards, right? And then you have Josh Hart. I don't know, because Josh Hart is like, Josh Hart gives you what you need. So it's hard to project what Josh Hart is going to give because he gives you what you need. And quite frankly, on a night-to-night basis, it may be something different. Right? It might be something different on a night-to-night basis. Some nights it might be rebounds. So some nights Josh Hart might get 12, 13 rebounds. Some nights it may be steals. So Josh Hart may get you 4, 5, 6, 7 steals. Some nights it might be blocks. It might be 3-pointers. It might be assists, but you don't know on a night-to-night basis because Josh Hart is a Swiss Army knife with a lot of energy. And then there's RJ. Are we totally eliminating RJ Barrett from backcourt touches? Is RJ Barrett now a combo forward 3/4? If he is, no big deal. If RJ is a 3/4, so what? I don't care. As long as he's productive. But what I need from RJ is defensive rebounding and free throws. For RJ Barrett, and I know for others, I spoke about what I would expect, but for RJ, I'm just going to talk about what I want. For RJ, I need RJ Barrett shooting in the 80s from the free throw line. I need RJ 82, 83% from the free throw line. Also, I need RJ. RJ, if you're a 3/4 now and not a 2/3, I need RJ in that 6.5 rebounds area. I also need RJ Barrett's assists to skyrocket. Julius Randle is going to be what Julius Randle always is. Right? He's going to start off the season slow. Right? He starts off the season slow. I mean, not slow in terms of that. Y'all know what I mean. Like, he'll start off the season trying to find his way. And then he'll get red hot and he's going to, Randall's going to have like 7 or 8 games in November, December, and January. That's going to solidify his all-star status. It's what he does every year. It's what he does every year. So Ed Walker asks, how did you study and do podcasting? No, I'm not on Red Bull. What I've done, and I appreciate y'all being patient with me, is I've done less show prep. Like, I don't have all the fancy slides and the thumbnails and the topics and all that prepared like I used to. You know what I'm saying? I should. I'm just at a gap of time where I just can't commit like 45 minutes to doing thumbnails and slides and research and all that stuff. Because the slides, when you're doing the podcasting thing, you know, you got to do your thumbnails. You have to do your YouTube prep, right? You got to do your photoshopping if you grabbing stuff. If you're doing images, you know, you got to do your take your notes, write your notes down, and think about it, and all that stuff. So I'm doing less of that this summer, just because I'm grinding away on some stuff. But I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me too while we go through this. You know, and trust me, it's gonna be better for everybody on the other side. Once I get through this, it's gonna be better for everybody. I'll be able to get more fancy with this, and the content will definitely be a lot better. And then, you know, and just everything will be better. Y'all will probably see me at more games. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will see me at games and events and stuff more. You know what I'm saying? We can hang out after the game and talk about what we saw. Just a bunch of stuff. So I'm doing it now. So by the time October, September, November, December, January get here, things will be better. Paris Duggar's in the building. Salute to our guy, Paris Duggar. He says if Randall hits Grimes in his shooting pocket accurately, Grimes scores 5 points more a game. Okay. Keith Turner. Mr. Turner is in the house. In terms of Randall, I think Randall is going to be Randall's going to be Randall, right? But Mitchell Robinson, Mitch is going to be key. Can we get a healthy Mitchell Robinson for the playoffs? Shaw Legacy is in the building. Okay, I see you. Can we get a healthy Mitch? Morning Brew Sports Network is in the building. Yo, and y'all see how my reading is terrible, bro. I've been reading all day, man. My eyes so fatigued. It's like I'm tongue-tied. It's like Morning Brew Sports Network is in the building. Shout out to them Yankees, or no. Shout out to them Yankees. They about to give Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone 8-year contract extensions. Twitch, what's good? Dripmore is in the building. So my thing ultimately is, if we get a healthy Mitch and a healthy Hartenstein, I could see us in that 50-win area up top. And Paris Tucker says, hey, you slouch, you know it's 28 hours in a day. Get your life together. I know. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. As a matter of fact, I'm going to study after this. Ernesto is in the building. Yeah, I'm probably going to study after this. When we wrap up, probably around, what, 2-ish or so, I'll probably get another couple of hours in of just reading. You know what I'm saying? Just get I'll probably get the tablet and go in a recliner or something and just read a few things, or lay down on the bed, man, and read a few things or something. Shout out to the Yankees, man. Let's give Aaron Boone a 13-year extension. Let's give Brian Cashman a 13-year extension. No outs, no options. Just straight 13 years. So when I look at the bench, past Quickly, past Hartenstein, I really don't expect much. I really expect our top 8 players to go in. Now the other 1 or 2 after that, no. Player number 8, player number 9, player number 10 to me is just like Spice Ham. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. What I do expect to happen this season is I expect Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes to have breakout seasons. Right? And I'm talking about this season coming up. I don't want to have a conversation of what they did in the past, because that's all everybody's always arguing over what Grimes and Quickly and RJ was last year. I don't want to get into that. I'm talking about the future. Right? I'm talking about the future. Right? I'm talking about the future of things. I'm talking about Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly going forward are about to, in my opinion, take that next step. And I'll probably talk about this with the Queen Bee tomorrow also. Because there were some things that I keep trying to point out to people and nobody wants to hear me on it. I guess it's because if you don't do it with a bang, I guess it's not considered done. You know, if you do it, people are like, but if you do it with a bang, they're like, yay. Right? I think Quentin Grimes shot 41% from 3 since the end of July, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm estimating, right? I think it was like the end of I'm sorry, not in July, but end of January to the end of the season. So I expect him and Quickly to have breakouts. The sad thing is, on the flip side of that, I think we're going to see Deuce McBride, Jericho Sims, Trevor Keels hit the door. I think the young guys that we had been rooting for, like the Rokas Jokabitises of the world, the Deuce McBrides of the world, the Jericho Sims of the world, I don't think there are any minutes here for them to significantly improve on the court. And it's sad because, you know, we all like Jericho Sims. I mean, I think Jericho Sims is legit a product of Skynet. I think Jericho Sims is the T2500. He ain't the T1000. He the T2500. Jericho Sims might be the T3000. That's him, right? And by signing Dante DiVincenzo, I think that means Deuce McBride won't get on the floor, and I think, and I'm saddened by that. Right? I don't think we'll ever see Rokas Jokabitis, ever. Not as a Knick, anyway. I don't think we'll ever see him as a Knick. And that saddens me, because you know how when you draft guys, you hope everybody that the team drafts, you hope that, you know, one day, You hope that one day those guys will be, you know what I'm saying, on the floor playing their best. Right. I saw that. I saw Jericho Sims get elbowed in the face, and they had to go check the dude elbow. He got elbowed in the face, and they legit had to take dude out the game and get his elbow checked. Yeah, man. All right, Mr. Johnson says grounds look good. Working out with JJ Redick, Sims, and McBride might get garbage time. AJ, you think so? Garbage time minutes? You think by year 3, you think they'd be satisfied with garbage time minutes? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. And quite frankly, I think Jokibitis, Trevor Keels, Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride, they're all on the proverbial chopping block at this point. Right? They may stay, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if they go. Especially if Nate Knight, right? If Nate Knight is comparable to Kyle O'Quinn, like I think Sims might be out of here, man. And I hate to see him go because he's a good kid. I hate to see Jericho Sims, you know what I'm saying, get his walking papers. But if Nathan Knight is going to be that Kyle O'Quinn type unselfish player for us, and everybody that Nathan Knight has, I was talking to We Talk Hawks about Nathan Knight, and they were like, "Yo, if they give him a shot, he gonna take somebody's job." The only thing about it is with backup power forwards, they're a niche. Like you gotta like backup power forwards. And so if given a shot, man, he might take somebody's job. That's gonna be interesting. Jacko is in the building. Hey man, me too, bro. I want to keep Sims, man. And listen, I'm not reading Jericho Sims' eulogy. I'm not. I want Sims to be here. I want Sims to be here. You know what I'm saying? But man, the law of large numbers says, you already know the law of large numbers, man. Y'all know what it is. The more people you bring in, the more likely you're going to find a diamond in the rough. Jigga is in the building. Yo, y'all got to invite me on, bro. I got to get on with y'all, man. I got to get on and talk that Mets talk the way that people like to have that Mets talk to them. I know cats from the Bronx like the Yankees, man. I know, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. But I will say this. I have this one thing to say about Sims, right? I will say this. This right here is the determining factor for Jericho Sims, right? If Jericho Sims can Salute.
How you, Freezy?
I'm I don't want to see Jericho Sims get cut or included in a stupid trade. You feel me?
Hate to say it to you, Freezy, but Jericho Simses of the world are very expendable.
I know.
Not gonna lie to you,
I know.
especially at his age group,
Yeah.
because guys usually of his skill set are like 4 years younger than him. Like,
Right.
look at Jalen Duran.
Yeah.
Look at, as you just seen. Shout out to Rao. Look at Derek Lively.
Yeah.
If you're 24 with that skill set, unless you're an absolute force on the glass or a defensive force, it's hard for you to figure out a place in the league or to stay consistently with one team.
Right.
It's just hard. Like, if Mitch was 6'8", he probably still wouldn't be a Nick right now. He would probably be gone.
No. No.
He would have been gone 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And if we're calling a spade, he's only 1 year younger than Mitch.
Right.
So I do like what Derek. I mean, I do like what Jericho Sims brings to the Knicks, especially when we have injuries amongst our bigs. But it's not like what he does is in scarcity
You know he used
across
to
the
be
league.
Miles. You know he was Miles Turner's backup at Texas, right?
And he was also a backup to like two other NBA.
Mo Bamba. Yeah. Jackson Hayes.
Yeah,
And the dude in Portland, Greg, I forget his name. But yeah. So yeah. I'm frustrated though by but you know what though? The thing about it is this: when you ask the front office to get the team better,
yeah,
sometimes you know the collateral damage or the unintended consequence is guys that you like that maybe not really good get cut.
yeah. I mean, it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
If you want to hit contention or be a consistent contender, not everyone can come along for the ride.
Right.
Even if you're a good player,
Right.
I can give you one. Monty Morris was a very good player for the Denver Nuggets for
Right.
years. Gary Harris,
Gary Harris. Yep.
like, not everyone can make it. You got to make sacrifices to stay at that top echelon of the league. Got to cut dead weight. Well, I don't want to say Jericho Sims is dead weight, but he's not making a lot of money anyway. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. If he's in a trade, he's like a throw-in,
Right. But that's
like
the
an extra
scenario I'm
roster
talking about.
spot. You're like, yeah,
That's the scenario I'm talking about. Evan Fournier and Jericho Sims for a second round pick.
oh, ugh,
You know what I'm saying? That's the scenario I'm talking about.
that's no. I'm not. I'm not giving up anything to get rid of Evan Fournier. His value
Yeah.
is expiring. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is why we're at this weird place where teams don't even want to. I mean, we could have been moved off of him. We've seen all
We
those
should
terrible
have.
contracts get off, but
Right.
a lot of those teams did actually give up a second rounder or something.
Right.
But at this point, it clearly it's showing that the front office thinks we're not just going to move him to move him. We're just going to move him. We're not going to move him and give up things to just move him.
Hmm.
I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he stays for the deadline. It's going to be a weird scenario where
If you keep
probably
him
just
to the
tell him to
deadline,
stay
you may as
home.
well keep him.
They're gonna. It's one of those things where they're going to tell him to stay home.
And
And
see-
like the move for the deadline, I keep forgetting like the CBA part. Teams are already at the cap floor because you have to be at it before the season.
right.
Under like old logic of years past, teams were not at the cap floor and they would have to make the move for an Evan Fournier just to make it there.
Right.
And I don't know what's going to happen now. I really actually I'm pretty dumbfounded what's gonna happen with Evan Fournier. Like we're probably just gonna swap him for another terrible contract and a
So
guy we not gonna play.
okay, like who?
Doug McDermott or something. That's the only.
Buckets.
And then we'll probably to make it worth the while for the Spurs, we're going to have to give up like a second or something. Because the Spurs are like, why would we do that? We already got a shooter here that barely plays and plays terrible defense.
Yeah, but he doesn't speak French.
Oh, but that still might not be incentive enough because the
Right.
Spurs are not trying to do anything right now. Like next year, they might sign Evan Fournier
Right.
just just to have him there anyway. Because
Right.
what's his name is not going nowhere.
Right. I can see. I could see Evan Fournier in Toronto with their new head coach.
He is a former European coach.
Yeah, I would love to see Evan Fournier in that new offensive system, that nonstop Spanish pick and roll. Oh my goodness.
They
I
do
could,
have the wing defenders to hide him. So,
yeah, yeah,
but
and
I don't. But I don't believe they're that pressed about it because remember they got a guy that does Evan Fournier stuff, Garrett
oh,
Trent Jr.
and Grady Dick.
Yeah, and they drafted another guy to do Evan Fournier type stuff. Big guards that
Right,
want to shoot a bunch, play
right.
minimal defense, can handle the ball a little bit. Play minimal defense right now. Grady
Okay.
Dick can be a better defender as he
Yeah,
grows in
yeah,
the league.
yeah. When guys are that young, I don't like saying what they can't do because you just
Yeah,
don't know.
because uh, people at that point you're relatively a blank canvas in the league. You
Right,
can either thrive or stagnate.
right, right. Um, I have a scenario for you. I want to ask, and this is an NBA basketball question. This is a hypothetical, and I might slice up this clip, and if I had a pen, I'd write down a timestamp. Where's my pen?
Just open that notepad and open the notepad on the computer and just leave it
Yeah,
there.
that's what I
And
should do.
just save a note there.
Yeah, let me open Notepad. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do that. I can open. That was crazy. I can just open Google Docs. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, what am I thinking? I wasn't thinking. That's what. So the timestamp for this show is 43:56. Okay. So at 43:56, I asked Dre, what what if the NBA decided to punish teams going over the cap by taking away their current first round pick? All right, so Mr. Dre, is there a world where the NBA would consider punishing teams that go over the cap by taking away their first round picks?
Uh, that that's a slippery slope in my mind because you're punishing teams for investing in their team to begin with.
Yeah,
Like a lot of teams don't even want to compete. Like if you're paying an exorbitant amount of money in taxes and luxury taxes, they shouldn't be able to just take away your draft pick. Now they can
right,
take away exceptions, which is cool,
right,
that give competitive advantages. But say for instance you're overpaying, but you are logically, if you overpay or you go well over the cap, usually you have a pretty solid team. If you're gonna like put in that type of stipulation, then it would stop teams from like tanking by overpaying, like or taking on terrible contracts, I guess. But like, at what point would you take away a first round pick, like 1 through 14? Like, you'll take away a lottery pick if you're well over, I guess, the luxury tax or
No,
these
I don't care.
aprons
I don't care.
multiple years in a row.
If you over no, I'm not even talking about the 2 years in a row. I'm not talking about the repeat offender, right? Because here's the thing, teams that go over the cap don't get exceptions taken away, because when you're over the cap, you have to qualify for those exceptions,
Yeah,
right? So they don't get them snatched. They're not just given to them. You know what I'm saying? If they meet certain things, then they qualify. Like, for instance, if you're under the cap, you don't get to sign people to the vet minimum, right? You got to use your salary cap space,
yeah, you got to fill
right?
it up.
And then two, the vet minimum is the same regard. Say, for instance, the Knicks signed both of us to the vet minimum, but say Dre is 30 and say I'm 55,
Yeah, it's
right?
based on experience.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So my vet minimum would be $10 million. Dre's would be $8 million, but the team is only going to pay $800,000 of that, because that's the minimum NBA salary. The NBA pays the rest of that, the balance, out of the TV revenue money.
Right.
Right. The players and the owners negotiated that in the CBA. People don't know that. Like, say for instance, if we were to bring Carmelo back, on the vet minimum, Carmelo's vet min would probably be what?
4 million.
It's something like that. The Knicks are only going to pay 800,000 of it, and the TV revenue part is going to pay the rest. Which I don't know how they agreed to that or why, but I know why. They did it so you can keep veterans in the league. So veterans, so the league wouldn't be your oldest
There
player.
wouldn't be too much turnover, like an overwhelming amount of turnover.
Yeah, and
Even
your
though
oldest
there is
player
a lot
wouldn't be
there.
28. You know what I'm saying? Now you can keep them dudes that's like 35, 36. Right. But my thing is if the NBA just said, hey y'all, in 2 years, or people signed max extensions this summer, so you give them 4 years. Say in 4 years, once you start going over the cap by 1 cent, we're taking away your current first round pick, and we're not giving it to anybody. You're forfeiting it. Right,
it's just a blank spot. It'll just
it's
be
just
29
spot.
picks in the first round.
Right.
Start over.
Right.
Again.
Right. I think teams would manage their salary cap better. Right. Like for instance, if we do that, you think Evan Fournier would? You think the Knicks would still have Evan Fournier right now?
Oh no,
That man would have been gone, bro.
somebody would have picked them up.
Yeah.
Just to hit their floor or whatever.
Yeah.
Just so they don't have to pay ridiculous amounts of money in terms of vet minimums or whatever.
Yeah. Just. I think that's something.
It's something to push the needle or force the hands of teams to make decisions with guys that don't fit their current scope of the team or vision of the team.
Right. But the reason why I brought this up is because you know who benefits from teams going over the salary cap? The Orlando Magic.
Yeah, because they get the revenue
sharing.
Yeah.
And have you been to their arena?
Dump.
It is a bro.
Is it the dump?
Bro, I would call it
beautiful?
a dump, but I don't want to insult dumps. Right?
You make it sound like the food probably bad there too.
No disrespect to Orlando, but when I go to other cities, you know how they give you your food and like the carry out tray, it looked like carry out stuff.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
In Orlando though, it looked like, you know, the white styrofoam things. You know the white
Yeah,
styrofoam things. You.
containers.
Oh my god. Yeah. Nick Yak is in the house.
They out there serving Facebook plates, man.
They out there. They out there got food on Facebook plates, bro. Right. And so yeah. So
But what do you think is going to be the out? Do you think Evan Fournier will be a New York Knick by mid October when the season
yes.
starts?
Yes.
Will he be a New York Knick by contract and he will not be there in person? Because I feel like if that were to happen, they would just send him home.
No, I don't think they're gonna send him home. I think the Knicks are trying to present a family atmosphere, and if they get strictly business with Fournier, then who's to say they won't get strictly business with the quickly contract extension?
I'll
Who's to say
say that
that? I'm
I
sorry.
said it happened. You can look at the Jay Crowder situation where he was under contract. They didn't want to move him. He didn't want to come off the bench, so it became a stalemate where they were like, "Yo, just stay home. We don't even want you in the
Right.
gym."
But the Phoenix Suns are not. Oh, at that time they were not a
I mean,
respectable organization.
they they were not, but they had quote unquote title aspirations coming into that year.
Right.
But he didn't want to take the role behind Cam
Cam
Johnson,
Johnson. Yeah.
you know, because they thought if they promoted Cam Johnson, that would raise our ceiling to hit that level.
And you know what eventually happened in that bad situation?
Everybody got traded.
All effective parties are no longer with the organization. The
And
coach, the coach is gone.
the GM,
Yeah,
no, GM's still there.
no, the GM's still there, but Jay Crowder, the guy that didn't want to come off the bench, is gone,
He
and
got
the dude
traded
that was
for
starting.
like 4 second rounders and 5
Yeah, yeah.
to
I don't
not
think.
play.
Yeah, and I don't think the Knicks want to do that, bro. I think the Knicks want to stay above board. I think the Knicks want to present um a peaceful place to exist.
It's hard to present a peaceful place when a guy outright says, "I wasn't even ready to play as a professional because I wasn't in the rotation."
Yeah, but he was saying though that the coaching staff wasn't talking to him at all.
I feel like there's some culpability between both parties, right? On one hand, as a coach, you got to be able to manage egos and be able to talk to people as a man.
Right,
And on the other hand, you got to be able to be a professional because no matter what, you getting that check for whatever it is for Evan Fournier, maybe $400,000 every 2 weeks.
right.
You getting that check to be an NBA basketball player,
Like, come on, Fournier.
not to just lollygag and not be in shape. Or this dude said I was not ready because like RJ Barrett was announced out of the game pretty earlier. That's actually an indictment on you as a professional. And there's some responsibility to be held between Tom Thibodeau and him just I don't know being absent minded or just not being the guy to talk to guys. But in this particular era, especially where players have more power now, you got to be able to chop it up.
Yeah, that's on Tibbs.
Yeah.
That's on the organization. Because the thing is before this thing got off the rails, you could have traded 48 at the trade deadline, right? You got rid of Cam. How do you
The,
not be
the
able to?
only difference I'll say that because he had a year and a half and he still makes a ton of money. Well, relatively for his skill set, he makes a lot of money.
Yeah,
So
but
that it would be harder. Whereas Cam, he ain't made no real money. Plus, he was expiring anyway.
would you have been upset if they had just did Evan Fournier for Marcus Morris? They make the same
Oh,
money, had the same years left.
I would have done that, but that would also be an issue with Tibbs because we already had tightened the rotation, right? And Marcus Morris, in his mind, he wants a bigger role. He was a malcontent on the Clippers because he didn't have a bigger role until injuries took apart their team,
Right.
and he wants another payday. So he wants to show that he's productive. So he wants 25, 30 minutes a night with usage, so
Every
he
night.
can
Yeah.
so he can
And a roll.
yeah. So
Right.
he wants to show, and plus, if he would have came back here, he would probably be in here like, oh, it's my old stomping grounds. I average 20 points per game here.
That man was shooting 52% from three before the All-Star break. You remember that?
Yeah, I'm appreciative of his services. Got us
Yeah.
quickly. So,
Yeah.
and then he went over there, and it didn't really pan out. They paid him, yada yada yada. I mean,
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
he probably would have fit here if he had injuries or whatever, because he's the type of player that ultimately Tibbs would probably like or value. But at the same time, we also were running a tight ship in terms of the rotation, which turned the season around. So I think Tibbs would have been averse to even adding another guy to the rotation, even if he fit.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I don't like the way this front office is thinking. They're not, as Nick Nack says in the chat, we're not giving up a pick to try to unload him, which we might have to. And yes, Kerry Cox, yeah, Spurs are the only one that might be interested. That's the
Yeah.
only one. It's but it's I think like this decision might be getting made after whenever Josh Hart gets paid. Then I think we will move on to Amar Sykes for that particular move. I think the deadline for Josh Hart is like the 8th or the 9th or something like that, when he can get paid.
What is it? I'm sorry.
I think the deadline, or not deadline, but the date he can get paid is like the 8th or 9th of this month, where he can get
Okay.
his extension. And I think they're going to work through that extension part first. Then they might turn their attention to moving Fournier. Uh,
Oh,
But they should have been had Fournier up out of here.
they should have been
All
there.
them bad contracts that got moved that were expiring, like around draft time,
Right.
shortly after draft time, during the free agency period, guys were getting moved, signing trades were happening, and we were just sitting on our hands, holding relatively a malcontent.
Yeah, we could have did look, and that's gonna sound crazy, right? But we could have did Evan Fournier to the Mavericks for JaVale McGee and oh god, they had one other bet. Was it Reggie Bullock?
And nah, it wasn't. Well, Reggie makes like 10, $11 million.
Yeah, that's some yeah, but JaVale only makes like what, 7?
The only other person I could think of was Davis Bertans, and they moved him.
They
So,
moved him to OKC. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I wouldn't want no parts of that. So,
Yeah.
um, but for instance, OKC was sitting right there. You know, it's funny. If we still had Scott Perry in the front office, we might have been able to work something out with OKC
Yeah, we'd have probably
before,
worked somehow.
just off of connections. But that man was not trying to be demoted any much more than he already was.
Yeah. Did he get a job somewhere else?
I don't believe so. I'll check. I haven't heard anything about that. Let me check, because I haven't heard anything about him going anywhere else at this current moment.
Hmm.
Yeah, he ain't nowhere right now.
Okay.
I guess he's chilling.
Yeah.
We parted ways with him May 31st,
Yep. Yep.
and if we would
And
have
we
had
did.
him by free agency period of July, early July, we might have been able to work something out with Fournier going to OKC or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
But we let the Mavericks step up and dump their little salary off and keep it pushing.
Right. 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 Man,
I think we really missed out on all the opportunities to dump him somewhere for a trade exception or something.
yeah.
Like it's looking more likely that he ends up as a Nick. Yeah,
The perfect scenario in my mind would have been that Bradley Beal trade.
we're getting in on it as like a
Yeah,
third
yeah,
team or
yeah,
something,
yeah. Getting in on the Bradley Beal trade.
sending him to like the
The
Wizards
Wizards, yeah. Sending him to the Wizards, and
just to make
then
some money work and take like a couple seconds up out of there.
yeah, yeah, and then that way, because I think the Wizards wind up right after that wound up trading for Jordan Poole, right?
Yep, because they had Chris Paul from a prior from that deal.
Trade that Phoenix trade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then they just
yeah,
flipped him for an extra pick and a talent.
yeah. I'm frustrated by that,
we
bro.
don't we don't do it's kind of funny because we have some of I think we have some of the most economical contracts in the entire NBA.
Yeah, all of
Like
them, bro.
like four no, we have legitimately five, 4 to 5. Like if we're talking about value, like 4 to 5 of the best contracts in the entire NBA in terms of what you're getting out of guys on performance that are not on their rookie deals. That is.
You know what we could have done? We could have
That's the
done.
only reason that Fournier deal is even on our books because we're so great with our other contract.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'd be into multiple aprons with that well, not terrible, but it's bad 18 million, whatever. What were you saying, Freezy?
I no, I'm listening to what you're saying. What you're saying makes sense. But we could have honestly did Evan Fournier to the Rockets for Usman Garuba and Tata Washington.
How much do those guys? They were first round picks, so they come with a little bit of change on their contract. Was
Yeah.
Todd was Usman or Usman was not a lottery pick? I know Tata was like late lottery.
No, Usman Garuba was in the 20s, I believe, right
Yeah,
after
but Tata was like a late lottery. Tata was late lottery, I believe.
was he? I thought he was outside the lottery too.
I believe he was late lottery, Freezy.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now. No, I was wrong. I was well off. He was a 29th pick. Well off.
To Memphis, right?
Nah, he was drafted by Houston.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Wait, was he drafted by Houston and traded? I believe he was drafted by Houston. He was is Houston bound. Rockets. Um,
Yeah, I thought he was.
Rockets earned the draft with the number 26 pick after making a deal with the Mavericks that sent Christian Wood to Dallas. On Thursday, however, the Minnesota Timberwolves acquired the 26th pick from the Rockets in exchange for the 29th pick and future second round selections. So they
Okay.
traded for the 29th pick and then
Okay.
they drafted him.
Okay. Yeah. But the thing is, with the money, the money is not an issue in a sense where, um,
It's not
um,
handicapping us.
yeah, you don't need the money for something. You just want the money to be useful. If you get Usman Garuba and Tata Washington, the money is at least useful.
Where it's like going into developmental projects.
Yeah, because you didn't draft
You're not
anybody,
gonna
right?
play them anyway, but you might see if someone blossoms. They'd be kind of it'd be kind of like how the Mets decided to trade these guys for prospects.
Right.
Now, the overwhelming majority of those prospects might not be anything, but you
Okay.
try to see, and if one pops, then you're happy with that. If one pops and becomes an all-star multiple times or something,
Right. Right.
then you're happy with that result. But instead of having like just dead money, it might be one of those things where Fournier is just going to be there as a place filler just until next year when guys' contracts bump up, like Josh Hart, where he's getting his money,
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking, if Quickly gets his money,
Yeah,
it'll
quickly.
slot right in to that 18 million that got dipped out.
Yeah, quickly gonna get the bag, bro. Quickly is gonna get
And I
21,
believe he
22 million.
makes like 4 million right now. So
Yep,
that four
yep,
million to that 22 slots right in that 18 that Fournier
yep,
is missing.
yep.
Whereas the cap is projected to go up 10% every year. So that is like another 14-ish million
Yeah,
in the cap going up.
yeah.
So Josh Hart getting like a $4 to $5 million raise on top of Quickly.
Josh Hart did the Knicks a solid, bro.
Yeah, I mean he did. He you know who he really did the solid for. He did it for Dante
Mm,
because he would have opt out and then we extended him. We would have been over the cap, and Dante wouldn't even get MLE money. Dante didn't even get MLE money. He got close to MLE, but he didn't get
right,
MLE.
right.
We tried to. He opted in just so we could squeeze out the extra 2 to 3 million we could give Dante.
Okay.
And even then, that extra 2 to 3 million we couldn't. If we would have given them the real MLE, we would have been over the cap because of Fournier's empty 18 million sitting there.
And so Alawan says, can we sign and trade IQ with Fournier? Yes. All of them are assets. So if you're, but sign and trades are difficult because you have a number of moving parts, right? So you can do it. You can attach Fournier with Quickly, right? But you're looking at Quickly's current salary and Fournier's current salary. For what play are you getting? Right. So you're talking about 19 plus 4, 23. So you got to be in that 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 range.
Mhm.
Right. So what play are you going to get for 21 to 25 million?
There aren't too many guys that would fill.
That's going
It
to be impactful. That's
it
worth
it,
trading
it
quickly.
it's kind of funny because it's if you're looking at how the James Harden trade went down, they did that move and they got that. Remember that shooter that was playing on the Sacramento Kings with the funny form? You know what I'm talking
Kevin
about?
Martin.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
he made around the same amount of money or a little bit less
Yeah.
than when Harden got signed and traded for. And
Yeah.
like OKC attempted to say, okay, we'll fill his spot with a shooter or a scorer.
Right.
And then you looked around and Harden completely took off and Kevin Martin
Yeah.
faded to nothing at that point. After that,
Right.
he was probably out the league 2 3 years after that. Meanwhile, James Harden was averaging like 25 off the rip.
Off rip. Yep. Yep. Off rip. And the
But yeah,
rumor was Reggie Jackson was busting them in practice, bro. That was the rumor. The rumor was the best point guard on the team during that run was Reggie Jackson.
I, I'm inclined to believe it because when you seen him play on the court, he had like unbridled confidence. Like
Yeah.
he would wave off Durant and Westbrook and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna go do my own
I'm
thing,"
gonna go get mine. Yep. Yep. Yep.
which caused friction within the organization, which is why they let him go
Yeah.
when Detroit decided to pay him that stupid amount of money.
Yeah. The rumors were true though.
Oh, I believe it wholeheartedly. Like
Because when he got to Detroit, he put 30 on Langston Galloway in the Garden after he signed that money with
everybody looked good in the guard now.
I don't know if it's
Especially at that point, everybody was coming in the garden, kicking their feet up on it, putting their feet up on our couch, man. Just
F that couch.
yep.
That's what they're saying.
They were making themselves very welcome.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And Spike Lee was at the game taking pictures with other players, other teams'
Yeah.
players. I mean, he still does that even when we did. So
Yeah. I mean, he is a businessman, bro. So you already, you feel me? So, yeah, man.
but this Fournier thing, I think it's gonna drag out to the point like mid season where we can't even get nothing for him. Then we're gonna just buy him out.
Yeah. Because if you're the Knicks,
Because
and if
you don't want to take any money that's going beyond this year. You want to clear that 18 million,
yeah,
but you want to make that 18 million work for you. So like I get like how you say like for the Ty Washington and the Usman thing,
yeah,
but that's still first round money.
yeah, late
Even
first
late
round,
first round, but it's still 2 million, 3 million, something like
right?
that.
But
Something
you're
like that.
talking
Right?
about 6 million total, right? I'm
Yeah.
just rounding up, maybe 6 million total, right?
And that'll
So,
probably make it difficult to sign. Like, well, not difficult, but you have to account for that money if you're trying to extend IQ or anybody of the sort. So, like, I think the Knicks are trying to. They were trying to like move Fournier for either an exception, but that time has passed. I think
right.
that was the goal. The initial goal was just the trade exception,
Okay.
and now the only thing they can get is taking back another terrible expiring contract because they don't want to take on any extra additional money going into the future
No,
unless
no
it's
more,
a
no
unless it,
years.
yeah, unless it's an impactful player which makes it easier to move off of IQ or anybody on the team. They're not taking on anybody with $18 million.
I think they overplayed their hand, bro.
They overthought it,
I think they thought they had a trade that they were going to pull off this summer, and they didn't.
or
They
someone skipped a line against us and like jumped us like for OKC or Detroit,
yeah,
one of those teams that were busy throwing out them trade exceptions just to hit the cap for. Like
yeah.
we missed the boat there, definitely.
How does Billy Epler trade 6 players in one day, and the Knicks can't get rid of Evan Fournier?
I can give you a reason why though, because um, Steve Cohen is willing to pay off any kind of contract. He's paying guys 150 million to not play for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, if the league worked like that, Freezy, you know James Dolan would have been did that.
Yeah. Not just him, Balmer too.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure,
um, um,
oh for
yeah,
sure, Balmer.
yeah, yeah.
But we have, I guess, one of the best analytical teams in the NBA. We still couldn't figure out how to move this guy.
Yeah. I honestly would have considered IQ and Fournier for Miles Bridges.
You know, we only like church boys on the team.
That's right. I forgot. Yes, I forgot. I forgot. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, man, if his name was Hezekiah Bridges, maybe, but
If his name was Hezekiah Bridges, he'd definitely be starting for us. Give him the max. You know what I'm saying?
oh man, I,
Yeah, man.
I'm flabbergasted how we're playing this. I think if it hasn't happened now, he's just gonna be a Nick until the deadline, and then no one's gonna trade for him. Then we're just gonna buy him out. Be cool with that. Let him go wherever he wants to go. Which
Why
is
not?
worse for his career
Why not just buy him out right now?
because he probably wouldn't give up any money.
I think he would.
I mean, his, in his mind, his value is so shot that if he gave up any money, he may not be able to regain it over the course of the season. Like, if some team were to give him vet minimum or something, right?
Okay.
That gap in between whatever we wanted to willingly pay him off. Because in reality, when all these guys get bought out, teams be like paying, okay, I'll just give you half of the money.
Right.
And Fournier is not going to be like, give me 9 million, and then I'll take this 3 million from another team. He wants that extra six that was entitled to him.
I think he would, bro.
I
Because
don't.
I think the thing more important than that to him is playing. Because if it was just a scenario where it's just sit down, eat your slice of pizza, and be quiet, that type
It
of situation,
it would be a
he would have said
gamble.
that thing in the press in France.
It would be a gamble. I mean, I guess it would be a gamble for his like if he were to view it because he could be like, okay, I'll take this $6 million pay cut for right now, but I'll play and bolster my value and then my next deal that I'll retire on might give me a little bit more bread. But I can it's very rare that guys take less money across all of the major sports. It's just very rare guys give money back, at least that much money. You
How
remember
important?
when they asked John Wall to buy him out, and John was like, no.
Yeah, but John Wall, but then at the same time,
And John Wall made a ton of money
yeah, he
already
was the
by that
highest
point,
paid player in the league during that stitch of time. He was the highest paid player in the league,
and he wanted
right?
to play.
And but the thing about Fournier is all Fournier wants is to play. He can't. He said himself that he can't afford to spend 2 years not playing.
But you notice the word he said, afford. Afford
Right.
implies value, implies money. And as a role player in this league, it every million matters for guys like Fournier's more than the megastars, more than the superstars.
Okay.
That second tier player, that third tier player, the back of the bench guys, those guys have to scratch and claw for every, I guess, dollar. Like
Okay.
Duncan Robinson probably would love to play, and if he gave the Miami Heat an option to, hey, look, you could just buy me out for 50 cents on a dollar, Miami Heat would have done it already, but he would never offer it
Right.
as a role player.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it's harder it's harder to project that because this contract we gave him is the biggest contract he's ever had in his NBA career, and he
Yep.
wants to eke out every dollar coming down the stretch, which is why he's so mad about not playing because he wants his value. So he's in a weird space where he can't afford to not play.
Yeah. But if it was just about the money, he just shut up and do. He just should come off the bench and be glad.
Well, he should be
Like
ready.
long
He should
because
be ready instead of saying I wasn't ready. That man came to the game. I bet you he didn't even have his jersey on under his warm ups. He was just he had his street clothes under the warm ups, man. Some he was at the game, sitting courtside with it, like a fan.
right.
Best seats in the house, getting paid for 'em.
Yeah. Yeah. I,
But
I'm just
it's a
I,
tough. I think we're just gonna hold on to him and buy him out.
if they hold on to him and buy him out, bro, it'll just let you know that this front office don't know what they doing, bro. If they buy out Evan Fournier, if they buy out Evan Fournier, and I hear all these big places and all this stuff talking about the Knicks are saving resources for a big trade, bro, I'm calling them out by name, right? I don't care who you are. I don't care what your channel is. If they buy out Evan Fournier, when they could have traded him and then they continue these weird narratives that, oh, the Knicks are just saving assets for the perfect trade. I'm calling you out by name.
It could be worse, Reezy. They could hit Fournier with a stretch provision.
I was thinking that, man, but
Okay, it's
man, they
$9 million dead cap. We definitely not doing that.
definitely not doing that. That's not an option for us.
We already saw that Joakim Noah
Yeah, we
issue.
just came off the Joe Kim Noah money 2 years ago.
How much money were we paying him every year to not do nothing?
Bro, we had owed him $54 million and we stretched it over 5 seasons
We was giving him penthouse money every year for nothing.
every year, and he wasn't even in the league.
Lower Manhattan penthouse money.
Yeah, happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh God! Shout out to him.
Yeah, and
That
and the
that,
funny
that
thing
man
is
is a hustler.
the funny thing is all Major League Baseball players do it, right? They do it. What happens is, and I learned this in a finance class. What happens is players don't want cash, especially in big cities like New York. They don't want to get there. They don't want lump sum bread
Because of that
because
tax.
BIM. So they put it in annuities and have it be tax deferred over a time, and then have that annuitized money dispense a certain amount every year, right? Whether it's whatever your term is, whether it's as every month, every quarter, every 6 months, every year, whatever it is, whatever the annuitized thing is, right? You do it that way because the money goes in tax deferred, but when it comes out at a smaller amount, you get taxed at a smaller amount,
Hmm.
as
And then
opposed
you
to hitting the
can
Powerball for $1 billion and only coming home with half of it, $500 million.
less than half. Really.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
really it's
yeah,
really like 350.
yeah. And
I
so,
mean,
yeah,
still, I'll still take that 350
that's still a
myself.
lot of money. But the Mets closer has the same provision. The one that tore his ACL,
It was his. I think it was his patella.
patella. Okay, Edwin Diaz has um the same payout schedule. So it's some money up front to live on, and then everything else is annuitized, and it's
And then
you
when he
know
retires and changes his address
yeah,
somewhere else, and he doesn't get taxed nearly as much
yeah,
anymore.
yep,
Like
and
Edwin Diaz gonna move right to Miami or something like that, and
yep.
not think about it.
And it prevents that sad story we used to hear in the 80s about this old broken down athlete that's broke living on the street,
Yep.
because you get that money annuitized, and then now you getting these payments for a set schedule, right?
It's
So
it's uh it's a similar thing that Allen Iverson is doing with his Reebok contract.
yeah, yeah. Justo, thank you for the generous contribution. He says, "You guys believe a team starts off poor and allows us to pry away a good player for a team looking for youth for in the season tourney, the team that wins it all picks an extra home playoff game one time." Okay, okay. Let me ask Dre that. Dre, you want to answer that first? The first part of that question.
Let me reassess that question because it threw me off for a loop. I had to read it a couple times. He's speculating other teams. I mean, anything is possible in terms of the first question. I just don't believe like a team like OKC that has a dearth of young talent that they can't all pay. They might shake loose like one of those guys. Remember the guy that you like on that team, Freezie? Like there's got or Houston Rockets. They have like a bunch of first round talent guys, but they can't all pay them. And I don't think that's like reliant on it being a poor or great start. It's just how the cap is situated now in terms of the CBA. Teams that are developing are not trying to be anywhere near them aprons, especially paying like young guys that might not be in their future. So a guy might shake loose, but
Okay.
but I think he's speaking from the perspective of would the Knicks target a guy like that? Man, this 9-man rotation is locked in. It is not going nowhere unless a superstar is available. This all things is pointing to this front office. We are not trading for a good player. We are trading for a great player.
I think he's referring to guys like Bogdanovich.
Yeah, I know Freezy, but I'm saying this I mean, this current rotation, it just looks like it's locked into what it is.
1 through 8. The ninth player, we're not sure who
The
that eighth
ninth
player.
player is Dante.
No. Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember,
You're right. You're right. Yeah,
you're
you're right. You're right.
replacing Obi with Dante.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This rotation is locked into what it is. And if
Yeah,
the Knicks do
you're right.
make a trade or something, they're not targeting a good player. They're targeting a great player. They want an all NBA guy on this team. From everything, all the signs that it's pointing. Now,
They're
will
not
they
getting
pull
them.
that trigger?
You know,
Will they pull that trigger? That's a different question.
no,
But
they ain't.
that's what they're targeting, in my mind, at least. I don't think they're trying to get a quote unquote good player because I feel like this front office values a lot of these guys and think we already have a ton of good players. We're lacking another great player.
Okay.
That's how I think the front office is using it. But The second question, I missed the second question.
It was a statement. I thought.
Yeah.
Fournier.
Yeah. Team that wins it all picks an extra home playoff game one time. That's actually an interesting suggestion.
Yeah.
I've never given that much thought because there is no, besides the money, of course, there's no real incentive.
Right.
I guess you get like the new cup, whatever they're calling it.
The NBA Cup is what they call it.
But there should be an incentive like you get home court advantage for a series, no matter if the team is ahead of you in the seeding.
Okay.
That would be interesting. Like if you win the cup, say you win the cup and then you flounder around in the NBA and you end up at like a 4 or 5 seed or something. You get to the second round, you face a team with a higher seed than you. You can override them and get home court anyway, just for a series. That's actually an interesting.
Yeah.
Like they need to. If a team wins that, you got to reward the organization or more than just money because the money that they're offering guys make way too much money for that team.
$1 million per person?
It's not $1 million per person.
It's not?
Nah.
Okay.
But I think as the league grows and revenue sharing and all that stuff, like the cup gains more popularity, I think the payout is gonna be even more year over year. But for the first year, I think they're splitting $1 million.
That's nothing.
Yes. I mean, it's great for the rookie players or the minimum guys. Like Miles McBride would definitely appreciate that. So would Jericho Sims.
Yeah, what is that like? 330? Was that like $350,000? Something like that.
I'd have to
15
check.
Players.
NBA in. Yeah, because I forgot what the actual prize was. Okay, yeah. Players on the winning team of the championship gets $500,000 each.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's less than 300 something thousand after taxes. Okay.
But still, for guys like McBride and Jericho Sims, that's a lot of money. Guys that are still on their rookie deal, like they would definitely appreciate that. Now, as the tournament gains more popularity, because for the most part, I'm gonna be real with you, Freezie. A lot of the things that Adam Silver has implemented, we probably hated it at first.
Right.
Then we grown to appreciate it, then we lived with it, and it's like I don't mind the play-in. I actually like it.
Yeah, I don't mind the play-in either.
And like the whole I guess the voting part for remember how they changed the All-Star game where the teams are set up, players can pick it now. At first it was kind of sketchy and then we figured it out. Then they decided, we're gonna make them pick them live on TV, which is cool and awkward at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be the last. Like,
I mean, for the fans, it's fire, but for the players, it's mad awkward.
That meant the best player in the world getting picked second to last in an All-Star game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's. I think all of the things. I think
you want
Adam
to change
Silver,
it, be the leading vote getter. If you're the leading vote getter, you get to choose.
Yeah, but Jokic is not that personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just not. Jokic wins his title and tries to go back to his home country immediately.
Immediately and drink Coca-Cola. But anyway, I got one more suggestion for you.
Gotcha.
Chat, I have one suggestion for you. I have been thinking about this all day, and I want to ask a real basketball mind. So instead of doing a video, I saved it for an interactive chat. Dre, I think I asked you this before, and you may not remember, right? I think it was when we first start rocking. What if the NBA had 2 3-point lines?
Well, you'd have to break this down or explain it to me.
I'm about to.
Yeah.
Anything outside of the normal 3-point line is a 3-pointer. no stupid 4 pointers, no gimmicky stuff. Right? Guess where the other 3 point line is going to be at?
Where?
The restricted area.
Oh, so like dunks and layups are 2 points.
Basically, what I'm saying is any points scored inside the restricted area is 3 points. And if you get fouled down there, it's 3+1. Now, when Blake Griffin,
Or 2+1.
no, 3.
Three for, oh damn. Oh
Yes.
no, you get 3 to make 2. How about that?
No. I'm telling you, when Mitchell Robinson dunks on Bam Adebayo and they foul him, he gets the 3 for the dunk and goes to the free throw line for 1 more.
Freezie, that would change the entire dynamic of how players are evaluated, drafted, scouted.
You know what that does? It brings the big man back. It brings the big man back, bro.
Freezie, you do that, Julius Randle gonna show up next year 325 pounds.
Yeah, bro. I'm saying if you get, think about this, if you get 3 points for scoring inside the restricted area, now you're bringing the old power big man back.
Okay, but I asked
Right.
this question: is the restricted area bound by like the 3 point laws? Like if you take off away like outside of because guys take off outside of the
Yep.
restricted area.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you finish at the rim, if your hand is around the basket, then
It's 2 points.
oh, it's 2. So you got to be able to bang underneath the rim and around.
You know
like,
what you
the
you know what
5
you're
feet.
rewarding? First of all, you're rewarding offensive rebounding.
Freezy,
Right.
if we did do that, we'd win the next like 6 championships.
Right. And so what I'm saying to you, what I'm saying is that small half moon restricted area that you see, right? Of course, they have to
Expand it a little bit.
expand it a little bit so that you'll be able to see where people took off from, right? But my point though is this: for those because the thing is you remember how you said, man, in the playoffs Rudy Gobert gets played off the floor,
Mhm.
right? 3 point line, restricted area, Rudy Gobert stays inside the game because now the floor, the defense, because defense now is smothering, bro, right? But now you got to defend the 3 point line out there with the perimeter shooters, and now you have to protect the paint, that restricted area.
Pick and roll coverage will be changed forever because
Yep.
they will just let guys take the floater
Yep.
instead of and just sag off and stop the lob.
Right.
Because there'll be a difference between 2 or 3 points. They just sell out for the blocking the lob. Hey man, you gonna take that floater,
Right.
or
Right.
you gonna get clobbered in the paint either way.
Right. But my thing is this, right? My thing is this. You know why running backs don't have value in the NFL anymore?
Yeah, I know why.
It's because fantasy football, the standard format is generally a point per reception thing. So now fans want to see quarterbacks throwing the football, and now the stars of the league are wide receivers. When back in the day, just say 20 years ago, the stars of the league were Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Fred Taylor's, Edgerrin James's, Ricky
Bell
Williams.
cows.
Yeah. See, the thing is now with fantasy football and all these other things,
Analytics.
you basically, the 3 pointer has definitely basically revolutionized the game, right? Towards guys that can shoot, right? But if you incentivize bigs to get putbacks on offensive rebounds instead of getting the offensive rebound and looking for Steph Curry, Now you brought big man back to the game, and now you get more aggression, right?
Well,
Now
you
you
might
get
get if you're making free throws, because aggression in terms of like the defensive part. If you're gonna get guys 3 free throws every time, it's gonna be hard to be aggressive on defense because you're just getting 3 free throws.
what talking about on a foul attempt on a dunk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Eh, I'm
so it's the same thing. It's the same logic for
for
3-point
threes.
shooters,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. And nowadays, when you think about it, a lot of fouls are fouls called away from the rim. Yeah, DeRozan. Yeah, some of them guys. I honestly think those mid range guys will actually thrive because the defense will be stretched like bubble gum, like guys out there on the 3-point line and guys underneath the rim. So them dudes like kept like
But that would officially solidify the mid range shot as like the worst shot in
yeah,
the NBA.
yeah,
Unless you're even if you're an elite mid range shooter, it still would be the worst shot.
okay,
Because analytics is not anti the long 2 pointer. It's anti bad shooters taking a long 2 point shot. And now you're pushing it to a space where it's just like if you're getting an extra point for being in the lane, there that will completely eliminate the mid range game. The mid range game is already disappearing uh
yeah.
beyond 6, 7, 8 guys. Like it would hurt. It would hurt guys like SGA.
So
I mean, it would make the game 3 pointers or dunks. That's it. I mean, it would be just
but
a
Dre,
more
but guess
hyper
what the game is
version of
right
that.
now. Guess
I'm
what the
saying
game is right now.
I'm saying that's what the game is right now. But it'll push that into warp speed.
Right,
It'll
but
be completely. Will be. I'll put it this way: the game is now 60%. It's like maybe 60%, 65% 3 pointers,
right,
35% in the paint. It'll be like an even split 50-50.
right.
But the variance of like actual shot profile will be completely gone. It'll just be paint touches and threes. That'll be it. We won't see floaters. We won't see mid range post ups.
I
We won't
disagree,
see
bro.
off the dribble. I
I
mean,
I
we'll
disagree with you.
see it. We'll see it.
But hear
But
me
it
out.
won't.
Listen to me. Hear me out. Hear me out on it though. Hear me out on it.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Because I think you're thinking of it from a 3-point shooter's perspective. What this does is if you give players, NBA players, 3 points for dunking inside the restricted area, you know what would be introduced back into the game?
Big man.
Pure point guards. Now your classic John Stockton type point guard is now a byproduct of finding open shots for 3-point shooters and dunks for guys in the dunk area.
Guys that are averse to scoring first, they'll just
Right.
be out
The
there
natural
ditching.
point guard is reborn as a byproduct of players that want to shoot threes and want to dunk. Right. And so also what it does, also what it does is it brings back the natural brute power forward. Right? You know how Randall is 1 of 1 in the NBA?
For
Randall is
now, yeah.
basically 1 of 1 in the NBA.
And
All the
he's
power
and
forwards
he's
that are
slowly turning into more of a spacer right now.
right, but the power forwards that are better than him, they are floor spacing bigs that can dribble, pass, and shoot.
Outside of Giannis.
Okay, I'll say dribble, pass, and score.
Yeah, Joe Pass. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is those guys that you remember back in the day when you like, dang, this dude had 13 points and 27 rebounds. I think those guys are coming back if you do that. Right. And for some, they're like, I don't want to see a guy get 27 rebounds. I would like to see think about this. When a team is down by 4, with 7 seconds left to go in the game, I would love a defense trying to stop a team.
I'll say that if Charles Barkley existed in this world, he would average 77 points a game.
Okay. and you know
You
who
can't
wouldn't?
stop him.
You know who wouldn't? You know who wouldn't score like that? Cam Johnson. The modern power forward, right? Cam Johnson.
Yeah, the 3-and-D guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about and I see Nick, like I see you when you say eliminating the mid range. What it is though is the mid range is a dying breed right now, right?
Which is funny. It's funny you say that, Freezie, because all the elite scorers outside of a few are all mid-range shooters.
Mid-range guys, right? But think about this. Think about when was the last time you saw a center outside of Jokic with great footwork?
Embiid has great footwork.
Right. Yeah. Embiid.
But his footwork is more that of a guard.
And a mid-range guy. And Joel Embiid is like a mid-range dude.
Yeah. So outside of the two big dogs, it's
right.
Not.
Right. Think about how valuable Mitchell Robinson would be right now if he got 3 points per dunk.
Mitch would average 18. Probably more because he'd be incentivized to just keep trying to score instead of getting a rebound and kicking it right back out.
Think about what Bam Adebayo would look like in this scenario. Right.
I'm not against it. It would just I'm trying to picture because it would change philosophically, it would change how the league looks in totality, period. Certain guys would be out of the league completely.
Yeah.
And then certain archetypes of guys would be back.
But that's the case, right? That's the case back in the day.
And that's the case right now where, like you just said, certain guys are getting phased out.
Yeah.
Like the Rondos there's no Rondo. Like we won't see another Rondo type point guard be an all-star.
No, that won't. Unless
and this iteration of the NBA.
But if you give any player 3 points for dunking inside the restricted area, you know what also would skyrocket? Shot blocking bigs.
There'll be more Mark Eatons out there.
Yeah.
Boban will get a max contract, man.
the
Taco Fall is getting the bag.
Yeah.
I think the game will actually slow down too. So we might think it might be all about pacing and spacing like it is right now to get the big man out the game. If you're doing this, scores may go up marginally, but it won't go up that much because the pace will be a lot further down because teams will go back to initiating an entire offense instead of the first guy bring the ball up, first shot, take an open three.
Right.
Now it'll be like we're waiting for the big to get into the paint before we do anything.
And you know what else will occur? We will stop thinking that the pick and roll is the greatest offense that ever existed.
But
because
Freezie World Class said it's the oldest play in basketball.
It's the oldest play in basketball, bro. Yeah, I always thought the give and go was the oldest play, but I'll go with Clyde, with whatever Clyde say.
It was probably the give and go.
You know, but my thing is this. Every time you go live, every time you click the link, somebody is talking to you about pick and roll, right?
In some form. Spanish pick and roll. Running floppy actions.
Tibbs need to run the pick and roll. You know what I'm
saying? We do
run
it a lot. We just try to isolate after it.
Yeah, we run it 23% through 23% of the time.
We run it to get the mismatch and then attack the mismatch. We don't run it to throw lobs. We don't run it for the pick and roll.
Hey, you see Nick Yak's question? This is an excellent basketball question. Nick Yak says, would a breakaway dunk be 3 points?
I mean, it would have to be because you're rewarding the
Absolutely.
defense. You're rewarding the team playing
Absolutely.
defense.
Yes. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely a 3-point play if you get a breakaway dunk. Absolutely. And so you know what that does? It creates teams will have to play this thing. The Knicks don't do it well, and so we don't ever see it. But it will be an improvement on transition defense. People actually hustling, getting back, and then here's the other thing too, Dre. When's the last time you saw a real fast break where Cats is running full speed, dribbling the basketball, going the other way?
Or a fast break without the ball touching the floor.
Yes. You know what you see nowadays, bro? Tempo. You see tempo breaks where a small forward gets the ball and he in the middle of the floor,
And they try to
and
take
everybody's
advantage of a
space.
4-on-3 or something.
Yeah, everybody's creating lanes and 3-point opportunities, but nobody is focused on getting a dunk at the basket.
Oh man, shout out to Reggie Bullock not knowing how to run a fast break.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Reggie Bullock. Did we ever tell you the story about him catching the touchdown in game 4?
I saw it on TV and you told me, was it you and where Boogie was at the game with you?
Me, Jay Boogie, Rob
Yeah.
and Nick, Hoodie Kev, Uncle Fulio.
It was a momentum play because y'all were like, it would have cut the lead at 5 or something like that.
Yeah, we was down 7, and
we were already down like 15 and we cut
Yep.
into
Yep.
it. And it would have been a huge momentum play. And
Yep.
then as soon as he did that and turnover, I think they came down and hit a 3 and then the game was over at that point.
Yep, and that was it. That was it.
Just completely killed our momentum.
Yeah, man. So what do you think about this idea? 3 points for points scored inside the restricted area.
I think the league does need to figure out a way to incentivize more variability in
Right.
offenses. I don't know if 3 point. I mean, 3 points would be the most I guess most obvious way to incentivize it because you're just getting more points.
Right.
The only other way to incentivize varied players to push the 3 point line back further, or remove the corner 3 point shot and just make it 23-6 all the way around.
Yeah, but you'd have to extend the court though.
Yeah,
So now you.
but if you're extending the court, that extra foot or two would create more chances for posterizations at the rim, slashing and driving, because it's just more spacing, more natural spacing by obvious reasons.
Right.
But it'll be almost impossible. Well, no, it'll be almost impossible to check guys, but it's still going to be hard to shoot 23-6 everywhere.
Right. Right.
I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think like making the 3 point line further away and widening the courts would emphasize guys taking less threes and emphasize guys putting it on the floor and attacking the rim.
Right.
And that'll give guys more chances to get momentum to go at big men, and will give big men a reason to like be in the paint more often because not everyone is good at shooting 23-6.
Right.
Like the guys that sit in the corner to shoot those 20-foot 3-pointers, they'll be setting screens. There'll be guys actually, because there's just more manufactured spacing. You could have, hypothetically speaking, you could have 2 traditional bigs.
Okay.
It won't be Cam Johnsons all over the place.
Right. Well,
but the 3-point, I actually do like that. Is an idea I've never heard of. Did you
it's
just come up with that off the cuff?
no, I've been saying it.
Oh, you've been.
With it for years.
Oh, I didn't know.
That you need, the NBA needs to come up with a way of,
To-
because the current system is saying if you're not the current system is basically saying if you're not a 6'4" shooter with handles, you can't thrive in an era. And I don't like the fact that the rules dictate who is going to be good and who's not.
Mhm.
Right? How about have it be balanced where you get greatness from? Because think about this: if you get 3 points for scoring inside the restricted area, would we really be saying Steph Curry revolutionized this era, or will we be saying Joel Embiid revolutionized this era?
I would lean more to Jokic than Joel.
Yeah, the dudes that can do both, right? The dudes that can dunk
Yeah,
in a restricted area and shoot the three, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Would it be? Would it be? I was gonna say Giannis, and then I thought about
It would more so get rid of like Embiid wouldn't take any more mid range shots though. For sure.
right,
He wouldn't he would just live in the paint.
right. But is that not where you want your big man at anyway?
It depends because I'll say this. I think the era of just like the rim running big has dumbed down the position.
Right.
And when you do that, you'll have not that I don't appreciate Mitchell Robinson, but I don't need more rim runners. I prefer watching a big that can do things from three different levels of the court and it be rewarded appropriately. Because if you were to do that, Freezy, there'll be you won't see. Even though Jokic and Embiid's are relatively rare, the bigs that come up now are looking up to them. So we'll see more skilled bigs coming down the pipeline over the next 5 to 10
Bro, you
years.
don't see the dudes coming out in the next 2 years,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they're picking up stuff from these guys. If
bro.
you would have made it, if you would have made it like that, when I said it would change the way guys are scouted, developed.
Right, right.
You would see way, way, way more Mitchell Robinson or guys like Mitchell Robinson would be looked up to.
There's a dude. There's a Euro right now. I can't remember his name, but the dude legit broke the ankle, not figuratively, right? But he broke the ankles of a point guard in transition, and the dude is 7'2", and he came down. He's just like whap 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 whap, and went around the dude, and the dude just fell and grabbed his ankles. And you're like, oh my god, is this where the league is going?
And if you would have, please, if you would have made it like 3 points in the paint that big that you talking about right now,
Right,
they would have told him, "Ayo, none of that crossover stuff. Put on 60 pounds. Eat garbage all summer because we need you big so you can just make layups."
right. But I don't agree with that, boss. I think the old school way of thinking about basketball is dead. Everything now is, hey kid, let's see what you can do. Right? Let's see what you can do first. And if you want to be a point guard and you don't have point guard skills, then we'll move you somewhere else. Right? But if you're give you an example, Walt Williams, for those that remember old school basketball. Anybody remember Walt Williams, the wizard, Walt Williams from Maryland, played for the Sacramento Kings? I think in today's NBA, I think that dude is averaging 27, 8, and 8, or
Mhm.
something like that. Maybe 24, 5, and 5. Right? Because he was a point guard that grew, and then they moved him off the ball, but he still showed guard skills for his position. Right? But say Dre, to your point now, say if Vic say if say Vic comes along in this scenario, right? I think they see one Biana and they're like, yo, let's see what you can do first before we try to pigeonhole you. Right? Let's see what you can do out here on the floor. Let's get a couple of years seeing what you can do.
Mhm.
And then whatever skills you have, then we'll try to polish those.
Mhm.
Because even back in the day, cats like Jack Sickman, bro, Dre, listen, and I don't want to go too old school, right? But I saw Jack Sigma grab a rebound with his right hand, right? And a dude was running behind him. He flicked the ball behind his back to the guy on a fast break. and it was the highlight of the night. Right now, if Randall grabbed that rebound and flick it to RJ streaking down, we talking about the dunk RJ did at the other end
because we so used to it. Like
because we so used to it.
guys are
Yeah,
trained. I mean, that's why I was like, not that past players are worse. It's just the game. There's evolution to the game. That's all it is. The
right.
floor gets raised in terms of skill. Like, but if those guys came up back then, they would just look like guys back then. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. I'm willing to compromise with you on that one on what you said. There, I just don't want to. I don't want to make it.
You don't want to
seem-
diminish the past because great players will be great in any era, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, basically, what I'm getting at is I don't think Magic Johnson would have been a power forward in today's era. I still think he would have been a point guard.
Yeah,
Is what
they
I'm
would
getting
have just called them a point forward. I mean, if we're looking at what Ben Simmons was, Magic Johnson was a better version of Ben Simmons.
Oh wait, but
at everything. I'm saying a better version of Ben Simmons at everything.
except defense.
Yeah, except defense. But yeah, that's what I mean. And if Ben Simmons could get away with being listed as a point guard, then why would Magic Johnson not?
Yeah. Hey man, I'm gonna get out of here so I can take my dog outside. He walked past me a couple of times and passed gas.
Oh yeah, he's letting you know it's time, brother.
It's time. So thank y'all for hanging out with us. I just want to throw that thing out there, Jay. I got some other stuff like that.
Tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah, I got some other rule changes that I want to run by you. It's summertime. So I'll share one with you. Here's one. Big men shoot free throws from 10 feet.
That's not fair. That's not fair for you.
Yeah, it is fair, bro.
10 feet to 15 feet is.
You know
Big man could literally just do a floater at that point.
But so could average. The thing is, it's not even a
what is qualified as a big man? Because there's some 6'5" power forwards out here.
Centers.
Okay, only centers.
Period. Centers. Right? And the reason why I say that is because center, bro, have you ever been around somebody 7 foot tall just in everyday life?
I've seen 7 foot tall players and up close, real close.
My homeboy,
but not in everyday life. No.
My homeboy, Big Ant.
It's still jarring though.
It's 6'11", right? Big Ant is 6'11". And I'm just gonna tell you just a random thing before I get out. Just Big Ant is 6'11", right? We were at a party, and I bought shots for everybody, right? The bartender come, and she pours shots, and these shots are like glowing in the dark and all these things, right? And I pick up this shot glass, right? And I have big, ugly hands, right? I pick up the shot glass, and the shot glass is like this big in my hand. So I take the shot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang, these shot glasses little. And then I see Big Ant, no lie, had to pick it up like
with
this.
With his pinky and his thumb.
Yes, because he's 6'11", and his hands are huge, bro. Can you imagine Kawhi Leonard picking up a shot glass? You know what I'm saying? You see how weird that sound, right?
Yeah.
So basically what I'm getting at is the regular size basketball for a big man to shoot free throws. It's weird.
It's weird, but if you put in the work, like some of the elite bigs do. I mean, there's a lot of bigs out here for you shooting 80% from the line.
Yeah, some of these bigs just have regular size hands.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say this: Kawhi's hands are big, but they're if they compare them to a normal 7-footers, he has the hand size of a 7-footer or a 7'1", 7'2" guy.
Right.
And it's hard to know because you could look up guys on the combine because they list.
But it's I got idea. Basically, what I'm saying is
I have
ideas, huh?
Well, I'll say this: I would appreciate that because I don't want to see those UFOs Mitch Robinson be throwing up at the rim.
from 10 feet, you know what he can do?
A
Shoot him
finger roll.
underhanded.
Yeah, he would do a finger roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Thank you for joining us. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to do the next morning drive in the AM. We'll see how that goes. Dre, thank you for coming and hanging out with us, man.
No
I got
problem.
plenty more of these before the end of the summer, man. So, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks again, y'all.
Peace,
Peace.
chat. Peace.